So got some really big news to share with you, kind of figuring out a big life decision here. They're gonna hopefully move forward to an offer, which is exciting. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Happy Monday, and welcome back to yet again another week in the life video where I show you behind the scenes what I do every single week as a recruiter in the technology industry. As you know from last video, we're coming into this week expecting an offer to hopefully pop with my director of partnerships at my Uber of aviation company. They're going through references right now. It should be done any minute or any day now, so I'm eagerly waiting to see how that goes so that we can hop on, engage with our candidate, engage with our hiring manager, and just make sure that the closing happens smoothly. There is really high interest, high passion, low competition from other competing offers. So everything looks really good, and I'm expecting this to be a pretty seamless and hopefully smooth close. Coming into this week, it is a really nice Monday morning. Had a really good workout. Coming into looking at 14 candidate calls today, 2 interviews, and I just heard back from one of my favorite HR tech clients that they're now opening up a brand new DevOps/infrastructure engineer role, looking for at least 3 to 6 years of experience. If they have experience with Python and Terraform, and they're okay going to the office in a hybrid fashion, then that is a huge plus. So I'm gonna be focusing later today on that, but my key right now is to focus on product designers and product managers, going back into my database, repitching, and then doing targeted searches. But moving forward, this is gonna be another short week for me. I'll explain later a little bit as we go on, but if you are as excited as I am to make this Monday awesome, to make this week awesome, to make the beginning of 2022 awesome, please don't forget to like, subscribe, click that bell. Really means a lot and really gives us the energy to just keep doing as best as we can. Also have a really fun and exciting announcement a little bit later this video, so make sure you watch till the end to figure that out. But as of right now, feeling pretty good. I am about 95% better now, feeling like my old self. I got good energy, got my matcha, got my white tea in. Already did about 7 candidate calls, got about 7 more to do later, and going to be hitting DevOps and product positions really hard and getting a lot of good responses so far. So it's gonna be a packed week with a lot of good calls, but I really want to hunt for other offers to keep pushing everything forward. So let's make it a good week and excited to get started. All right, we got some good news. I heard back from my candidate who is going through references with my client that he was able to touch base with now the head of HR in my client's company. And it seems like the head of HR will now continue to own the entire process moving here on out. So I'm gonna actually reach out to head of HR so I can kind of establish a relationship with them directly, just kind of get to know them as I never worked with them before. And hopefully it looks like things are going well and are on track. The head of HR told my candidate, pending references, they should be able to move forward or at least get back to him in the next couple of days, and that was on Friday. So I'm hoping that maybe by tomorrow or Wednesday that we can get a decision and officially close the loop here, which will make this the first successful placement at this brand new company, further cementing our relationship with them long-term, which is what it's all about. So gonna see what happens. I still got 3 more calls today. Looking at my calendar, things do not look slow. We've got tons and tons of calls that are gonna take up most of my time. So gotta keep going. It is Monday, almost 11 p.m. at night, and I'm still sitting here almost done. I just finished doing a couple massive repitches for our new product manager positions, data science positions for this aviation tech company. We were also able to get another interview set tomorrow for email CRM, in addition to an associate accounts director. So interviews are slowly getting on the calendar, which I'm really happy about, but just goes to show that right now everything is really crazy. Demand for companies is really strong. It's harder than ever to find good talent considering it's a candidate-driven market. You have to be really persistent and really craft and personalize your outreach. Some nights are just really late like this. I try my best not to work this late every single night, but the fact that it's beginning of the year, it's beginning of Q1, companies are aggressive in terms of wanting to hit their goals. We have to do whatever we can to deliver for our clients. I think at the end of the day, in sales, recruiting, especially in the agency world, whatever clients that you have to be grateful to have them. That at the end of the day, they're choosing to work with you, not with anyone else. And for that, we have to be grateful, humble, never take anything for granted, and do whatever we can to get the job done to help your clients find that rock star to scale their team, because if you don't deliver for them, they're just gonna find someone else. So that would mean early mornings, late nights, whatever you have to do to stay on track. Not to mention, this is also gonna be a short week for me as well. So really just trying to front load and pack Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that we can get as much momentum throughout the week and into next week as possible. I'll talk more about my plans later this week, but I think as of right now, I am about to call it a day. Got tons of calls tomorrow. Interviews are setting up, gonna catch up with my ad tech client and slowly making progress. And it's one of those times where just when you think you're taking 2 steps forward, you realize you have to take 30 more steps forward. The goalpost just keeps getting pushed back and back and back and back and back, with new clients coming in, old clients coming in saying, Preston, can you help me? And so I'm just doing my best here and just try to be methodical, systematic, and just work with the sense of urgency as much as possible and then to push. Also finally found out that 2 of the positions for a fintech company, Director of Paid Acquisition and Marketing Manager, they have 2 offers out with 2 other candidates, not from us. And that just, every time I hear that news, it's like a gut punch, because I was working so hard for those. And when a client just finds someone else internally or through other resources, it's like nothing you could do about it. It doesn't also get easier with time, but you just have to swallow it, swallow your pride, and ask them if they need help with any other positions, and just shut down your search, restart, reset, and do it again. You know, it's one of those things where you just gotta take the jabs, stand up, and keep moving forward. No one's gonna feel sorry for you. So considering it's late, I'm tired, but I'm still feeling okay. You just have to adapt really quickly and just stay focused for the rest of the week. But I was able to do what I want to do today, and that is the most important thing. So just gonna relax for the rest of the night, do it all over again tomorrow. See you in the morning. Happy Tuesday. It is about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Not much to report other than I just been sitting here literally all day and just sourcing, repitching, and just doing a bunch of candidate calls throughout the whole day. We did have one update though, not good news. I was also banking on one of my candidates for the HR director role to have a final round sometime this week. And then hopefully, if that goes well, she can move to an offer. But I just heard back from my candidate that she pinged my client, and then my client told me that the candidate has officially withdrawn because she has decided to stay at her current job. And this, again, not good news, first of all, and second, not really happy that my client found out before me. I always try my best to keep a really strong relationship with the candidates that we do work with, and surprises like this are pretty monster. And I was just hoping that I got a little bit more of a heads up here, instead of having to hear back from my client who's like, Preston, what's going on? Why did your candidate pull out? Which doesn't reflect the best on me, because it doesn't really show like I'm keeping a strong relationship with my candidates, which at the end of the day, I try really, really hard to do it. There's still a lot for me to improve on, but that's the #1 priority for me. So I have to try to sync up with my candidate, see if she's willing to talk at this point. She told my client that whatever she decided, it's pretty official. So not too happy about the situation. I was honestly like banking about this deal. Could have been a pretty sizable deal to kick off the new year, but I guess it's not happening anymore. And so, it's like another gut punch in the stomach. But you know, no matter how hard you get hit, just gotta get back up and keep moving forward. Comes to the territory of being a recruiter, stuff like this happens. I just tried to like minimize specifically things like this in terms of like hearing about unfavorable news in like the worst way possible through like some other party, not from the source directly, especially from my candidate. It is what it is. I'll still try to reach out to my candidate, see if she's willing to talk. But right now it seems like I can't even fill this role or provide more candidates because my client has like another 1 or 2 that they're actually even more excited about than my candidates. So depending on how they go, if they're probably going to end up hiring one of these 2, I'm not going to bank on both these just not going forward and them coming back to me saying, hey, we need more candidates. Most likely they'll have a chance to close this themselves. So not the best, because I've been working this position for quite some time now, and I was hoping to at least kind of get this done this month. But oh well, still got one more call. I'm gonna hit up designers a little bit later today. Gonna hit creative designers, motion designers, and product designers. That's gonna be my theme probably for the next day or two, or possibly the end of the week, while at the same time keeping my searches for engineering really, really strong, as I have multiple clients looking for engineer talent pronto. So, didn't even have time to eat lunch today. Got my favorite Kikos though. They're like basically giant popcorn nuts. Oh shoot, from Whole Foods, and they're just awesome. Tons of salt, but very, very awesome and taste delicious. So that's gonna hold me over now until I make some dinner later, but pretty decent Tuesday, nothing too exciting, just really, really productive with my sourcing, and unfortunately not the best news, but hey, gotta keep moving forward. All right, it is another late evening. It's Tuesday evening around 9:30 p.m. Just finished uploading a video. Hope you guys enjoy it. And just also did a couple really big passes of senior product designers and creative designers, and gonna be prepping for some engineers rest of the week. And I am tired and I'm feeling it. It's actually been quite stressful and a lot of anxiety beginning of the year. Not the best way to start the year. It's pretty intense, but at the same time, I love it. The pain that you feel when you're really, really pushing yourself, either like physically and mentally, even though that's a clear sign where you need to take a break and relax, for some reason, in a weird way, as soon as I feel that, I love it. And mentally, I just want to tell myself to just push a little bit more. And if you've been following me for a while, it's kind of like a theme where I just love to see just how far I can push myself, whether it's starting the week off strong or pushing and finishing off the week strong on a Friday. It's just, I know that that's in a small way, one way I can maybe separate myself from other people is when they're starting to kind of take the gas off on Friday, when they're kind of starting into the week slow. I like to come into the week hot and end the week strong. If most people are checking out on 6, 7 o'clock p.m. and I'm here at 9 or 10, I know that if I can just make an extra effort, little by little, extra effort, consistency over time will just compound and snowball into just massive, massive results. And just want to make one thing clear. I'm all about working efficient and smart, but there's also no shortcuts to working hard. Sometimes you just really got to put in the work. And since day one, I think a lot of it is because I started this year 2 weeks late because I got really, really sick. So I feel like I'm just chronically underwater and catch up. And because of that, started this week off with a little bit unexpected level of stress. So I just have to really make the effort, late evenings, work all weekends just to be able to catch up. And I'm slowly getting there. But as soon as I feel like I hit the goalpost gets moved back again 20 yards because another client asks for more help. But either way, I'm doing my best, but was not expecting to feel like this tired and this exhausted super early in the year. But it still keeps me motivated, and that feeling that I'm feeling right now kind of keeps me alive and making sure that I'm on the right track, and I just have to kind of keep at it, keep my head down and stay consistent. So right now, it's really, really important, as I said before, to be focused, to be 100% clear which positions I'm gonna target on, which clients I'm gonna target on, and then as soon as I hit those and whatever I need to get done or whatever positions I need to source for, repitch for, once I'm done with those, then what are the next group of clients and positions that I need to get done? And again, I talk about this a lot, but it's a lot of variables that I'm considering, whether it's the ease of availability, whether it's the ease or difficulty in terms of the position, how senior is it, how junior is it, how slow or fast are the response times. A lot of things I take into consideration to help me prioritize what I need to get through. And then once I kind of go through and I set everything up, I high level look down at all my pipelines and just to gauge how well everything's doing. If one pipeline or two pipelines are really full, then I'll focus on pipelines that need help getting built with my client. And then I'll essentially just rinse and repeat and just carefully just manage everything as it goes on. And as a pipeline gets weakened or more empty, then I'll do my best to just kind of hit that and drive a lot more talent there. So at the end of the day, you really want to make sure whatever position that you work, you want to make sure the pipeline is healthy, meaning you don't just have one all-star candidate and you're banking your whole livelihood or your commission on that candidate. Of course, you want the candidate to get in and get the job, but what if the candidate gets rejected and you don't have anyone else? Now you have to scramble to do a brand new search and to get the momentum started again while giving the client time to use candidates from other recruiters or to have their internal HR recruiting team or get it from a job board. So when you are an agency, you want to do your best to really build a solid pipeline filled with not only your top choice, but a plan B, C, D, E, F. So in case something happens, then you have another candidate right there to be able to be considered for that role. And then if that person, for example, gets rejected, you have another person there. So it's really important to have at least a plan B, plan C, plan D. Yes, I get it. Some positions are super difficult and you just be lucky to find one, but always try to shoot for 2 or 3. You know, at the end of the day, if you're able to do that, you're able to sleep better at night knowing that, hey, if something happens with my star candidate, at least I have another candidate in the pipeline that I also feel really good about. But anyway, it's almost 10 o'clock p.m. I was hoping that I was able to get a couple more deals popped by now, but we just lost one with the HR, and one with the director of partnerships is just taking so long through references. Hopefully they'll get done this week, but I was hoping to at least get another 1 or 2 done this month to really establish 2022 off a good note. But either way, if only we did 1 deal, I'm really, really grateful and just really, really happy that it happened. So never take anything for granted, stay humble and keep going. And just to help me finish off this night, got a nice little nightcap, red wine here, and going to relax, recharge, enjoy this, and I'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday, 9 p.m. Just got back from running an errand, but looking back at the calendar, we started the week with 2 interviews, and now we have over 9. And this is one of the reasons why I love recruiting, because we create something out of nothing. And coming into this week, it's never an exciting feeling when you look at the calendar and you don't have any interviews set, and it's up to us to kind of make that happen. So really, since the get-go, as soon as I landed back from Vegas, my strategy was to build pipelines, and that would mean reaching out to targeted candidates through my database, using a variety of sources from job ads, job boards, LinkedIn, do targeted searches, and really push myself. And when I say push myself, I mean working late in the evenings every single weekday, pushing myself on the weekends. It's been a stressful beginning of 2022 to say the least. I felt like because I got sick, I just had to catch up. I'm still not caught up fully, but you know, I'm slowly making progress. But basically, the past 2 weeks was really just sourcing, reaching out, talking to as many great candidates as I can, making those connections, and submitting the best candidates to all the pipelines as fast as we can, and really pushing the pipeline and creating some momentum. And things are slowly starting to get back. Hiring managers that are sick are not feeling better. Unfortunately, a couple, good handful of positions have been closed across my different clients using their own methods, which is not the best feeling, but I'm really happy at the end of the day, the companies are able to find someone. Of course, would have loved it if they found it through us, but hey, you know, a hire is a hire, and you got to celebrate that. And then, you know, we're following up, respectfully following up with our hiring managers and just trying to really nudge them and push them and fight for our candidates to kind of get them in the door, especially if we're really excited about them. So things are slowly starting to click, and now I'm kind of looking at my calendar, feeling a lot better with the momentum that's here. For example, today, like I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23 calls. I would say a busy day for me is definitely 10 to 15 calls. Anything 15 plus is pretty crazy. Anything 20 plus is just absolutely nuts. I normally wouldn't recommend this. The only reason why I just really made effort today, I got like another 16 calls tomorrow, is because I'm not working on Friday, because I am busy kind of figuring out a big life decision here that I'm making personally. So I'll share more information about that tomorrow, but basically it's another short week. And funny thing is, this whole month, January, has been full of just short weeks after short weeks. So as much as I love short weeks, it's not that great, because you want to really do 5 days worth of work in 4 days on top of like juggling everything going else on your personal life. But this whole month has been focused on just getting better and then getting caught up, and then just pushing and using whatever time I had in the evenings and the weekends to just get on track. So coming into tomorrow, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews. tomorrow. We got 2 interviews on Friday. I'm expecting at least 2 to 3 more to come down the calendar. Already got a couple for next week. So things are cooking. I'm also catching up with one of my hiring managers at my fintech company. Going to be hopping on a Zoom with them. They just hired an internal recruiter, and because of that, they are optimizing their process internally. Typically, we would just send them candidates directly, and now that they're using like their own ATS system called Greenhouse, we're gonna figure out that flow, figure out like how we can prevent candidates from just getting plateaued or stalled after we submit them, as that's been an issue with them before, and just overall how to make sure the candidate experience is still a priority, even if the process is changing and slowing down. So again, despite everything I do with clients and hiring managers, candidate priority and candidate experience is number one always. And I make that crystal clear with all the companies I work with, and I just make it clear to them that, you know, if a candidate interviews with them, whether or not they get the job, I want them to walk away from a positive experience. And of course, if they can have a positive experience with also working through us, that's just a win-win. Getting a job, interviewing is stressful enough. I just want to make sure I do whatever I can to make sure it's enjoyable, smooth, and stress-free. So I am feeling it. I'm very, very tired. Got a busy, jam-packed day tomorrow, and I'm excited to, I guess, finish off the last, full short week here of January in 2021. Gonna call it a night. See you tomorrow morning. Good morning and happy Thursday. First of all, before we get into the day, just want to thank you again for watching. Really appreciate it. If you made it this far, I'm curious. Please comment down below and write down go, and I will do my best to get back to every single one of you, and thank you. It's a lot of work that goes into these videos. I always appreciate you watching and you reaching out, and so would love to kind of personally thank you. So feel free to comment down the word go, and we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot. Great news. Just heard back from my ad tech client that our data scientist candidate has moved forward, successfully had a final round, and the team is thinking about moving forward to an offer. And before they want to do that, they asked me to reach out back to the candidate to feel him out, to see exactly where he stands. And so that's freaking awesome news to end January. So what I'm gonna do now is to get in touch with my candidate as soon as possible. It's been a while since we spoke. I know he's been traveling and I was ill earlier this month. So it'd be great to kind of keep in touch with them to see how everything's going, and hoping, you know, everything's aligned. I know that when we spoke last time, he was looking for at least 190, and the company just wanted me to reconfirm that that salary level was okay for him. Hoping that nothing really has changed too much since the last we spoke. He wasn't really interviewing elsewhere, but a lot of things can happen in a short amount of time in the data science arena. So fingers crossed. Great news. It'd be amazing to get this done. So we'll see what happens. I want to ask you, like, what about the whole opportunity with them, like, really excites you?
He helped me a lot. He answered a lot of my questions, which required a lot of patience. But you know, I was really looking for something passively, but then I got really interested. And the other thing that kind of excited me is the room to grow in the company.
A lot of the things that are really important for you, it sounds like it's aligned, right?
Yeah, it is aligned. I'm just now really looking forward to if an offer is going to be made, and then just work out the things that I'm looking for, both in company and in terms of, the things that even you and I discussed really early on. You know, probably see whenever the offer is extended.
Yeah, of course. I don't think there's any more stages to do from here. I think everything looks great. Everything sounds great on my end. Are you also actively in process with other companies?
So I am. You know, it's more like I have kind of know where I want to be, but
okay.
I mean, I've always been passively looking either way.
I know when it comes to salary, you said you'd be kind of looking for 190 or higher. Is that correct?
Yeah, around that range is what I was looking for.
So what if everything made sense, you're excited, an offer came out, but they were able to do 180 plus bonus plus tons of growth? Is that still okay for you?
Typically, I would still like to be close to 190.
Okay.
Just because after talking to him, I understood there's also going to require a lot of work on my end because we're setting up an infrastructure. So that's what I would be aiming for. Okay,
gotcha. But let's say, again, an offer came out and they were able to hit 190. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that I would want to make a move on.
Listen, at the end of the day, everything sounds great. It's very positive. I know that it sounded like you had a really good discussion with the team and you were able to dig deep and get all your questions answered, which I know is very, very important. So I think if everything is great, they want to move forward, I think there's no reason why we can't expect an offer. If that happens, my job is to really be there for you, and I want to work a lot more closely with you just to make sure that, you know, it's a package that you're really, really happy about. I'm in your corner. I want to go to bat for you. So if you want to talk to anyone on the team, please let me know. Like, we'll make that happen for you, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. That does sound good to me. I mean, if they do extend an offer, you know, let's have a conversation really about, I just want to go maybe check out the office and stuff, but I would highly like you just move ahead with, you know, what we've just discussed, you know, the base, the bonus, and the other things that come with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they offer bonus, tons of growth, amazing perks. Like, I think you should definitely see their office because they just moved into it and it's gorgeous. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Salary is aligned. He's interviewing elsewhere, but our company, clearly our client is ranked #1 in terms of overall interest. If the numbers make sense, he just wants to see the office, have a few more basic questions, and then he said he's ready just to move forward, which is amazing. Couple of things to note, he needs help with the transfer of the visa. So that might be a little bit complicated, or that might not make it possible for him to start immediately. So we got to kind of figure that out. Yeah, he's excited to hear back from the company and then just to kind of talk about what the terms are if it's an offer. So now I need to kind of go back to the company, let them know that he's all good to go, and so that they can hopefully move forward to an official offer and reach out to him. One of the things that is really, really important to do with any phone conversations with candidates is you always want to kind of book or have the options for the future phone call before you end that call. Meaning, like, before I ended my call with the candidate, I immediately got his times later today and tomorrow, that if the company wanted to chat with him, I immediately can kind of go back to them saying, hey, my candidate is available today and tomorrow X, Y, and Z. Because by doing that, then you minimize the time wasted for the company and candidate to go back and forth. Invite can already go and get sent out. The call will be confirmed immediately and they can have a chat, not next week, but today and tomorrow. So the longer you can kind of control the process and have candidates and hiring managers speak sooner than later, that really just helps you with the whole situation, because you want to make sure that recruiting is a speed game, and when a candidate gets prolonged and the situation just goes on and on and on, it gives them more of an opportunity to get less interested, less excited, but most importantly, it gives them more of an opportunity to interview elsewhere, which is what you don't want to happen, especially if they're really excited about your opportunity, specifically with your client. So I got his times for today, I got his times for tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to the client, let them know. I might even jump on the phone with them today just to kind of fill them in on his situation. But I think everything is looking really, really good so far. Oh my God, it'd be amazing to get this done. Okay, so when you reach out to both companies and candidates, especially if you're a recruiter in the agency world, it is so important to provide value. Just think for a second how many good candidates, how many amazing founders or hiring managers get hit by recruiters all around the world, all day, every day. You want to make sure that your outreach is as unique and different as much as possible so that you increase the chance of them responding to you. So think of like business development or the client side, reaching out to new companies to establish new relationships and engagements. When you reach out to a company, make sure you do really, really good research on open positions that they have. Typically, you can find this very easily on their career page or recent tweets or LinkedIn posts. And then if you're assuming you're really, really good in that market or you've worked in that market a lot, you want to try to find the closest candidates in your database or someone that you recently talked to that you think could be an amazing fit. And then use that candidate, use that profile as part of your introduction to develop new relationships. Saying, hey, I saw your open position. Here's someone that we work with that could be a great fit. What do you think? And would you be open to having a chat? By doing that, instead of, hey, can you work with me? I'm a recruiter. It elevates yourself a lot higher than any other recruiters that are just doing the basics and following the bare minimum and just asking to get on the phone call, rather than here, you stepping up and providing value. And then by doing so, you'll just be treated a lot more seriously. Now, if you think about it on the candidate side, the way that you can provide value here is that when you reach out to the candidates, you want to also personalize and customize your outreach as much as possible. Just like founders and just like hiring managers get reached out to all the time, really, really good candidates have the same thing going on too, with their inboxes just blowing up from all recruiters and other companies trying to reach out to them. Couple tips for candidate outreach is I would definitely personalize, customize. If there's anything that you have in common that you saw on their resume or LinkedIn, I would definitely add that, whether it's a hobby, same company, same market field, similar nonprofits or activities, I would definitely reference that. Most importantly, when you do reach out to candidates, you really want to sell the opportunity that you're representing. What about your email will make it exciting enough for the candidate after they read it to want to respond back to you? You really want to make sure you hit all the main, unique, and competitive advantages that your company, your client has, so that a candidate can get a good enough picture and generate enough interest to want to speak with you. Basic things like, when were they founded? What is their funding? What is the founder's backstory? Who are the founders? What is their product? How is the product different? Who are their VCs? Who are their investors? Anything specific about the culture? Are they fully remote? Are they in office? What are their benefits like? Anything that you know separates your client apart from other companies out there, you really want to be crystal clear on those elements. A couple other things are like salary. Do they offer equity? How much? Bonus, benefits, perks. Like, these are really, really important things, but instead of just like outreach vomiting and sharing all this information, be very, very selective and just highlight the main components that you think will generate the best responses and will have the maximum ROI for your efforts when you reach out to people. So I hope this helps. At the end of the day, people come to me and they ask me, what are the best tools that you use? In what way are you reaching out to founders or companies or even candidates? And I could go on and talk about in-mails, emails, phone call. I do all of it. But I think that if your outreach isn't personal, if it's not providing value, if it's not customized and not generating enough interest or like a hook for either clients or candidates reach out to you, then there's really no difference if you talk to them on the phone and you reach out to them via email or text. Like, it's really important about the messaging of how you craft it, and I think that's the most important thing, because once you can nail that down, then you can be super focused. And whether you choose emails only or in-mails only, as long as like your message and your narrative is super sharp, then you know you can kind of generate really good responses. And that, I believe, should be the first focus than like which specific tools that you use, because there's so many out there, and while a lot of them are great, it's not really going to help you generate responses as much as possible. Then making sure you provide value and you all come off empathetic and considerate to whoever you're reaching out to. So hope that helps. More than happy to submit everyone to Greenhouse, but I was wondering if you still want to be pinged with the people that we put on board, and if you do like somebody, like, what are the next steps? Like, is your recruiter just going to reach out, or do you want us to continue to coordinate and send out invites?
I'd like for you to be involved. I do think it is effective for you to kind of get feedback from them, and your level of service is higher touch than I think we'll be able to provide from our internal team. Mm-hmm. But that being said, we just need to find, like we worked with Kevin previously, so we just got to find that flow with her.
For what it's worth, well, I think before the process had been great. Things are moving. People are moving through. Just from my experience, even on different departments at Smart Asset, the moment you kind of add a ATS in the flow, like I'm totally for it. But if then the ATS, the Greenhouse, can be an easily bottleneck, or maybe your person internal can be a bottleneck too, because I'm sure she's working on hundreds of other roles. So the big thing is just putting our brains together and see, including Greenhouse in the flow, like how we can move things forward. Okay, just so synced up with one of my hiring managers at my client, and just had an overall good chat, catching up. Right now, they're kind of revamping the whole process and wants us to submit people directly into their Greenhouse ATS system, which is totally great, totally understandable. But sometimes what happens is, at a company like theirs that only has one internal recruiter who's working on hundreds of roles, a lot of times when we submit people to ATS, a lot of time can go by without the recruiter actually digging in and looking at feedback. So, and that's a huge kind of possible red flag for candidates' experience, because what could happen is candidates would just be stuck in ATS limbo. They'll start interviewing elsewhere. They start getting less excited about our client, and that's just not a good thing to do. And overall candidate experience goes down. In the past, past, I think what works well is if we submit people to an ATS system, the hiring manager, I'll still have a very close relationship with them. I can either ping them or on their own schedule or a certain time of the day or certain days of the week, they can go in and then provide immediate feedback to me. And then we can still play a supporting role in the coordinating to help push things forward and then to support the internal recruiter internally as they are swamped with many other positions. Or I can still ad hoc send people directly to my hiring manager in addition to submitting them into Greenhouse, so that I can still follow up with my manager and remind him, and then just keep kind of pushing and fighting for my candidates there. So either way, all in all, good call. There seem to also be revamping the internal salary bands for the product and UX position. So hopefully I can get a little more clarification on that. But we are just actively sourcing for PMs, for product designers, really across multiple levels. Everything is moving forward, which is fantastic. Hopefully we can do a couple of deals here, but it's always great to make an effort to talk to your hiring manager and to really maintain that relationship. And unfortunately, he's been ill all week, and it sounds like it's probably going to linger for a few more days. I hope he feels better. But yeah, good call. Got about 10 more calls later today. Got to keep going. And he told me word for word, like this is potentially the job that he was waiting for a long time. So he's really, really excited.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to go straight for the 190. And is he's good to work here? Does he need any sponsorship now or in the future?
He has a F1 visa right now, and I think transferring that is very easy, and he can start in like 2 to 3 weeks. Yep.
Okay, cool. That was I know usually with those are a lot simpler. And we sponsor in the future too as well. We just need to know ahead of time, so to make sure if he needs it. But if he's on the F1, he's probably good to work for a bit.
Exactly. And I think if you guys can come out, there's I think he's certainly going to accept, and he's already thinking about possible start dates and everything. One thing that he did mention actually is he'll probably ask you, but he would love a chance to kind of come in and see the office space as well.
Oh, okay, cool. So maybe it's worth it if I give him a call as well to kind of like do a run through of everything, or I'll get through my approvals and then like shoot him a note, like let him know we have the offer, this is what we present to you, like happy to jump on a call.
Yes, he can talk actually anytime today after 2. So anytime now onward, feel free to reach out to him. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's awesome. And what I'll do is before, or what I forgot to do with Cassandra, but I'll do it this time. I'll add you on the email so that you can get notified when he signs or whatever too. Just in case, like if you notice he gets it, and maybe if you have a question about anything, he may not come directly to me. You'll be aware he has the offer letter in his hand.
Okay, it's Thursday evening, almost 9 p.m. and happy to say that we officially have some good news about the candidate I was speaking with just earlier. We got confirmation from the recruiter, from the client, that the whole team really likes my candidate, the senior data scientist, and they're gonna hopefully move forward to an offer, which is exciting. Just have to wait a little bit and see exactly what the next steps are. Typically, we extend to our candidate's behalf, but I know with this client, historically, they just like to handle all that themselves. So I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna reach out to him, and then he's gonna communicate with them, and we'll just play an ancillary supporting role, just making sure that if our candidate has any questions, any concerns, we can really be there to help get those resolved as soon as possible. But as I talked about before, everything looks great, low competition, high interest, salary is aligned, and hoping to have a pretty quick start date too. So everything's great, really, really happy to be ending the evening, ending the day with another offer, but it's not closed yet, and we're still waiting for another offer that's still pending. So it's been a crazy week. I just finished sourcing product managers and UX designers. We are also making pretty good progress. I think we had about 4 interviews today, and every single one of them were positive, and they're actually moving forward. So it's just a great way to just end the week. One of the things I love about recruiting is like results are just so tangible and they're just so clear. You put in that work, you make things happen, people move forward, offers happen. So that's what I love to see. In case you're wondering, yes, I do use InMails, I do use emails. If I have phone numbers, I definitely call them. And again, I stand by what I said earlier. If you don't know exactly what to say to be able to create a hook, to be able to create intrigue, you should probably figure that out first. And it's all about providing value and be considerate and considerate in your tone and outreach when it comes to candidates, especially with clients. But if you're really, really curious about, more specific things like my favorite tools, I can talk about ATS systems more, please let me know. I think that one of the aspects that I really just love about recruiting is the interacting with people and the negotiations. And this is what I just try to capture my day-to-day and my week by week. And so because of that, I don't really have too much time to focus on a lot of the granular details. But if that's something that really interests you, please let me know, and I'll definitely do my best to include them in future videos or make more one-off videos. But let me just finish up work here, and then I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so the moment has arrived, and I just want to share with you some really big news that I'm really excited to just share with the world. So after this video, make sure you click down in the description box below, and you will see the link to our first ever free public Discord server revolving around all things recruiting. But here's the kicker. You don't have to be a recruiter to join it. If you're a recruiter, if you're not, if you're in tech, if you're in other industries, if you're thinking about recruiting, if you're interested about recruiting, or you just love all things startups and tech, Discord will be an amazing tool for us to just get to know each other more. It'll be another great way for you to reach out to me. If you have any other questions, feel free to ping me there as well. You're more than happy to still ping me on YouTube or Instagram. I will always do my best to respond. But I think after all this time, one of the greatest things that I was able to really experience in a short amount of time is just meeting a lot of great headhunters or recruiters that reached out to me, that are killing in their market, that are masters in their own space. And I just love just sharing and networking with other like-minded individuals. And I think this Discord community would be the perfect place for us all just to kind of congregate and just have a good time together, share news, share updates, share funny things, or just share any kind of serious advice or questions that you may all have. So again, completely free, public, right now. So make sure, please take a second after this video to go down, click it, and just come on in. And we'd love to have you all and see you all there. So I'm very excited to launch this with you. Feel free to share it with your friends or colleagues or other professionals, and excited to build a really fun and engaging community with you all. So we'll see you there. All right, again, the moment has arrived where we must conclude another week in the life video on a Thursday night. If you're asking me why I'm doing this on a Thursday night, not a Friday night, and you're like, hey Preston, what about the whole finish strong and you gotta finish the week strong? I hear ya. I would totally be working if I could, but the reason why that this is a short week for me is I'm actually moving tomorrow. So I don't know if you see around me, but my whole apartment, if I can show you, is in complete disarray, frantically packing, and been packing this whole month on top of work, on top of everything else. So I think that definitely has added to my fatigue that I'm experiencing right now. But at the same time, as crazy of an adventure that is, I'm very excited to leave DC and find a new home where we can get out of the city a little bit, be a little bit closer to nature, hopefully a little bit more peaceful. And as soon as we're settled, I can ramp back up and then have full exciting weeks with you all. But that's the reason why that this is a short week. And it's just kind of funny because every single week this January has been a short week, and it's not really how I anticipated January to start. But despite it all, we were still able to do one deal. We now have 2 pending deals. I was hoping to have at least closed 1 or 2 already. We did lose a big HR deal earlier, which I'm not too happy about. But my whole focus right now would be dedicating on the high touch elements of these pending 2 deals. But despite everything, we came into the last couple weeks where there really wasn't much going on. Understandably so, people were sick, people were traveling, people were still on vacation. So it is really up to us to really push and try to fill as much pipelines as possible. Even though some of the pipelines were still moving forward, what I mean by pushing and building the pipeline, I really mean going back to the database, trying to find any more people that you can repitch, doing targeted searches on job boards, digging in on LinkedIn, digging in on GitHub, digging in on specific designer sites if you're into product design or UX like Dribble, Behance, Coreflat, etc. Any tool at your disposal, doing as much crafted, personalized reach outs as you can. This could easily mean text, calling, email, in-mail, or all of the above. I use it all, and I think you totally should. And making sure that you're really crafting and selling your opportunities the best that you can so that it really excites people to want to respond. And then just really trying to do as much as you can. If you kind of been following me for a while, you would understand that like my personality is always, and one of the main themes behind myself working is I just always push myself to want to do more. So if you have 1 hour left and another recruiter sends out 10 emails, why not send out 12, 15, or 20? If you're cold calling, if some recruiters do 10 calls an hour, why not push yourself and do 15, 20? I think if you're a little bit more efficient with your time, with the same amount of time, you can produce a lot more output than the person sitting next to you. So that's always been kind of like a really fun internal competition I always like to have myself, that no matter how much time I give myself, I always try to cram as much as I can possibly in one day, doing my best to kind of stay within the regular business hours. I think if you're working just long hours every single day, but your output is not really increasing or your business is not really moving forward, I think it's less about the actual work, it's more about time management. How efficient are you with your time? People can be working a lot, 8 hours a day, but theoretically, constant work could amount to maybe just 4 or 5 hours. So you have a lot of extra time to maximize and to be efficient. And so I always like to try to find ways where I can optimize, where I have elements where I'm wasting time, where I could be efficient doing something else, and just try to do as much as I can. And so that is something that I've always instilled in myself when I started this business, and that's still something I do now. What you're seeing now, me working late in the evening, on the weekends, it's me just being honestly completely behind. I did not expect this amount of demand from clients that are coming our way. And I also did not expect to get really, really sick this year. And it really just derailed me for 3 weeks. So hoping to close that gap. I'm almost there, getting caught up, and every single week I'm getting a little bit less and less stressed coming into the week, which is obviously great, and that's a place you want to be. But all in all, January has definitely been one for the books. I don't recommend balancing a full-time work with a full-time moving with anything else going on. It is absolutely stressful and nuts. So by the next video, I should be hopefully successfully moved in, and we can kind of get back in the flow, have less distractions, and move forward. But as of right now, I wished I finished January with a couple more deals. We did one, so I'm kind of happy enough about that. But my focus is now focused on February and making sure that we can really have really good momentum, finishing this quarter strong, or as strong as we can. But right now, I just need to kind of sign off for the week. Unfortunately, I will be offline tomorrow, so just want to kind of bid you farewell and just thank you again so much for watching. If there's anything else that I can include in my videos, if there's any way I can just be better, if you have any other questions, please reach out to me, and please ping me either on YouTube, Instagram, and now Discord. I will do whatever I can to respond to you. My hope is that whatever you are, wherever you are in your recruiting career, would love to collaborate, would love to hear your story, and would love to help out in any way that I can. And I also know that there are many other recruiters out there that are a lot more experienced than I am in different industries, in the same industry, managing big teams, that would love to kind of hear from you as well. Always trying to find ways to kind of better myself. Coming into New Year's, I'm excited, I'm inspired to make this a great one. I'm even more pumped to be meeting hopefully more of you who are watching this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day for spending a couple minutes with me. And if you are as excited as I am to end January well, but to kickstart February well, coming into mid Q1, please don't forget to like, subscribe, click that bell. Really means a lot and will help me get better and stay focused so that we can continue making awesome videos together. So thank you so much again. Feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to hear from you, and hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in February, hopefully at our new setup. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.